The issue of human trafficking in the world remains as one of the unresolved problems that humanity needs to face. And there are 3 Hollywood actors in particular who are using their platforms to fight against this phenomenon. Mel Gibson, Jim Caviezel, and Ashton Kutcher have accomplished plenty in the fight against these crimes. Each of them has a specific path towards the same goal, but they are all essentially doing the same thing. As you may already know, Caviezel and Gibson worked together in the Passion of the Christ film. Since then, both of them have worked together behind closed doors to fight against not only that, but many more issues in the world. In today's video, we will be exploring what Mel Gibson and Ashton Kutcher just said about Hollywood and the elites regarding Sound of Freedom. Stick around to the end to see what they said. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Gossip Gang. Mel Gibson has been the one whose mistakes have been exposed to the rest of the world in a very public fashion. He was ostracized from Hollywood when a tape of him was leaked where he was talking to his former wife. A terrifying side of Mel Gibson that painted him as a controlling and violent husband. There is also that interaction with the police when he was drunk, where he reveals his hatred towards Jewish people. All of this was publicized in the media, but Mel Gibson has remained active in Hollywood. Jim Caviezel's case is very different, as he has remained Mel Gibson's friend while keeping a low profile in his fight against human trafficking. There was a misleading report that claimed Mel Gibson was making a documentary of this subject matter, but the truth is that he is helping Jim Caviezel release The Sound of Freedom. Jim Caviezel stars in a film called The Sound of Freedom that deals with the very issue of child trafficking.
They were doing an operation, literally an operation, while we were down there. All this is going on.
Wow.
And all I could do is just stay on the next play, just stay on the next play. But I told him, I said, he was asking me about, your history in film. And I said, if it's a good film, it'll come out. But if it's phenomenal, you're going to have problems.
Oh, dear.
And so we were having problems. So
there was a strange behavior from legacy media by calling this film the perfect material for conspiracy theorists. Rather than trying to promote the movie in order to raise awareness of this problem, most legacy media decided to criticize it. In Ashton Kutcher's case, he has been working with law enforcement from different countries to knock down multiple sex trafficking rings in Europe and the United States. The That 70s Show actor already spoke to Congress in 2017 about his work and threatened to expose the most powerful pedophiles in the U.S. That is the type of work all 3 of them are doing, and they are all being criticized for it. Mel Gibson's claims in an interview about the evils of Hollywood have resurfaced online after the launch of the movie Sound of Freedom.
In hideous circumstances, doing extraordinary things. I think it speaks to me, speaks to my soul, and hopefully to others. So I think it's a story worth telling. If you're going to spend 18 months on something, it better be worthwhile.
Gibson is known to be a supporter of the movie, filming a promotional push on social media encouraging people to see it. In the wake of the film's release, a 1998 interview featuring the actor discussing his shock at what Hollywood is like has gone viral.
Before you realize, or before it gets to you, it's cascading on you all the time. You can't get away from certain attitudes, from certain modes of behavior that this town and the industry dictate. And no matter how strong you are, when you come in off the farm with those convictions and a certain line of attack, no matter how strong you are going to be affected by this place. It's going to divert you from where you were going. Sure. You're going to be diverted.
The new movie has had a tumultuous release, with moviegoers sharing their alleged experiences online of people being forced from their seats for various reasons, and theaters having the air conditioning turned off. The film is based on Tim Ballard's life as he set out to fight child sex trafficking across the world.
And he takes the kids there, they're excited, put the kids in the room, and the girl says, come back to pick them up at 7 o'clock. He says, what do you mean? Come back to pick them up at 7 o'clock. He leaves, comes back 7 o'clock, no one's there.
Shut down.
That's how the movie starts.
Yeah.
By the way, it's disturbing, it's emotional, it's tough, it's painful.
But what exactly is the Sound of Freedom movie? And why is there so much controversy surrounding it? Well, Sound of Freedom is a thriller starring Jim Caviezel as a federal agent who takes on child traffickers. Sound of Freedom is based on a true story. Caviezel plays Tim Ballard, a U.S. Department of Homeland Security agent who investigated pedophiles. Ballard later founded the anti-trafficking group Operation Underground Railroad, became a frequent guest on Fox News, and was appointed by former President Donald Trump to a federal advisory panel on human trafficking. Some critics say the film appeals to the QAnon movement, which posits a false conspiracy theory accusing progressive elites of pedophilia. In an interview, Mel Gibson said, Anybody who watches this film knows that this film is not about conspiracy theories, adding, "It's not about politics." The controversy surrounding the movie Sound of Freedom stems from concerns about its potential appeal to the QAnon movement and its portrayal of elite involvement in pedophilia. The QAnon conspiracy theory alleges that a secret cabal of powerful elites, including Hollywood figures, politicians, and other prominent individuals, are involved in a global child trafficking and pedophilia ring. This theory has been widely debunked and criticized for lacking credible evidence. While the creators and supporters of Sound of Freedom maintain that the film is not intended to promote conspiracy theories or political agendas, its subject matter and portrayal of child trafficking investigations can inadvertently attract attention from those who adhere to such theories. The QAnon movement has been known to latch onto media and narratives that they perceive as supporting their beliefs, even if the creators' intentions are different. The movie's depiction of a federal agent taking on child traffickers aligns with the heroic narrative of combating a grave societal issue. However, the concerns arise when this narrative is potentially misinterpreted or co-opted by conspiracy theorists to fit their pre-existing beliefs. It's important to note that the controversy around Sound of Freedom does not necessarily reflect the intentions of the filmmakers, actors, or supporters. They may genuinely aim to raise awareness about the issue of human trafficking and inspire action against it. However, in a highly polarized and information-saturated environment, any media production, especially one touching on sensitive topics, can be interpreted and used in various ways by different groups. The controversy surrounding the movie Sound of Freedom sheds light on the challenges of addressing sensitive and complex issues through media, even as Hollywood actors like Mel Gibson, Jim Caviezel, and Ashton Kutcher use their platforms to advocate against human trafficking. The issue of human trafficking remains a grave problem that demands global attention and action. While each of these actors has taken a unique path towards the same goal, their shared commitment to combating human trafficking is evident. Mel Gibson, known for his vocal stance on societal issues, has not been immune to controversy himself. His publicized mistakes have exposed a darker side, yet he has remained active in Hollywood and has utilized his influence to support initiatives against human trafficking. His involvement in promoting Sound of Freedom on social media showcases his dedication to raising awareness about this pressing issue. Ashton Kutcher, another Hollywood figure, has taken a more hands-on approach to combating human trafficking. Working closely with law enforcement across different countries, Kutcher has actively participated in efforts to dismantle sex trafficking rings in Europe and the United States. His advocacy work, including testifying before Congress in 2017, reflects a commitment to tangible action against these crimes. While the intentions of these actors and their involvement in addressing human trafficking are commendable, the controversy surrounding Sound of Freedom highlights the delicate balance between raising awareness and inadvertently attracting attention from fringe movements like QAnon. The QAnon conspiracy theory falsely alleges a global pedophilia ring involving powerful elites. Though the creators of Sound of Freedom insist on the film's non-political and non-conspiratorial nature, its subject matter can unintentionally align with the narratives propagated by such movements. That's all for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching.